What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit that bell to be notified when I post. But today, as you can tell by the title of this video, it's going to be a story time, so let's get right into it. Okay, so if you did not know, I am actually in a documentary called Journey to a Miracle, Freedom from Insulin, and it highlights my family along with a family in Canada and a family in the UK. And the whole thing is produced and directed by Ted Kay, and then my mom, and then my dad is an executive producer, and then along with Larissa Woodward. They're awesome people. Go check them out. I will have the rest of the credits of people probably here or something like that, just because they deserve credit, because it was not an easy movie to produce. Anyways, the documentary highlights my family along the family in the UK and in Canada, and it talks about our journey to a miracle, freedom from insulin, basically. So I don't know all the scientific stuff. I know some of it, but if you want more information, I could do a Q&A with my mom if you would like me to. Just comment below your questions. And also, if you have any further questions or you're doing research on it, you find it interesting, it's very interesting, by the way. I will have links down below which you can go to, and then also our Facebook page and IBM of the movie. So I'm going to talk about my story because I can't speak on behalf of everybody who went off of it. But there's so many more families from Venezuela and all around the world who basically have experienced this awesome journey to a miracle. So let's get into my story. Alright, so this whole crazy thing started off when I was only a month old, and I went in for my 1-month-old checkup, and mine came out different because I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So basically I couldn't make insulin on my own, so I had to get shots to be able to help me produce insulin and all that stuff, and it was stressful as a baby. It's traumatizing. I mean, at school, I would basically have to be pulled out by the nurse, and she would have to give me shots. And then one day I had a seizure. I was 4 years old, and then I had another one, and my endocrinologist decided it was best for me to go on an insulin pump. So basically the pump, I wish I had it right now. I don't know where it is, but it's about this big. And basically there's a shot with tubes, so I had to get it stuck on me, and I had this fanny pack. I had 5 of them. It's pretty cool. And I would have to put my pump in, and then when I would eat anything, my parents would have to give me put in the right amount of calories and all that stuff so I could receive the right amount of insulin. And I hated it. I mean, in preschool, in preschool and in kindergarten, kids just did not get it. So they would always ask me questions, and I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer. And my teachers basically had to learn to give it to me too, and also my best friend's mom had to learn to give me insulin and test me because I was at his house 24/7. So all of this was stressful. I mean, I literally hated it, but it was my life, and that was what I knew. My pump was my lifeline. So my dad and my mom are huge supporters of JDRF, and I'll have them linked down below if you want to go check them out. Please sponsor them. It's a great organization. But anyways, so my dad was at a conference, and Dr. Luke Phillipson was basically speaking, and he is from the University of Chicago, and he was talking about how babies in the UK are diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at 6 months when in fact they really don't have type 1 diabetes. So my dad, being the person he is, he was like, well, my daughter was diagnosed at 1 month. And Dr. Luke Phillipson was like, 1 month? And I was like, yeah. And that's how the whole crazy journey started. So basically I had to get DNA tests, and I was confused because I had to spit in a thing about this big, and I was like, no. But I had it anyways. I got blood drawn, and then they put me into the clinic of the University of Chicago for a week, and they wanted to know if the pill worked, and honestly, luckily it did. It was so amazing. And this pill is taken orally, and it basically helps the body produce insulin. And it was crazy, like when my parents found out that it actually worked, they were crying. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, should I be happy now? But yeah, so anyways, I was excited once they finally like described it to me. And after that, I was able to like live a normal life. You know, my parents didn't have to worry about me, you know, getting the right amount of insulin and stuff like that. But basically, my parents asked me if I wanted to share my story, and I said yes. And I'm so happy that I did, because I was able to help so many families like all over the world, and it's just so amazing. Like I still can't believe it. Like it was a true blessing from like my family. And then I was in People magazine when I was like in 2nd grade, and this is what it looked like. And then I was interviewed a lot, and I was little, so like I probably said stuff that was like really stupid, but whatever. But basically, Ted Kaye, along with his team, wanted to do a movie about it. And they contacted my parents, and my parents agreed. And then they interviewed another family in England. And basically, they agreed to do it, and then a family in Canada. And each one of them have an amazing story, which I will summarize. So, the boy in England, his name is Jack, he basically has, I believe, autism or something like that on the spectrum, and he couldn't walk and really talk, and basically it was hard for his family because they would have to use like these little cards for him to point to what he wanted. It is in the documentary as well, so I'm just going to summarize. But when he started taking the pill and he got tested, basically he came out of his class with this teacher with a huge smile, and he said, "Hello, Mommy." And I think that's so cute, like the fact that that was able to really help him, and now he's able to communicate, which is amazing. And then Michaela, who's in Canada, she has a grandfather who has diabetes, a dad, and then there's her. And all 3 of them were able to take this pill, and it was so amazing. Like, all their stories are so touching, and there's so many other families that share their story as well. And I would like to thank everybody who put the whole entire thing together. I also have some honorable mentions. So basically, by the way, this whole documentary took 5 years, which is a long time. But I'd like to really give a huge shout out to Dr. Andrew Hattersley, Lou Phillipson, Fran Ashcroft, Graham Bell, and Sarah Greeley, because Sarah's awesome. But I basically wouldn't be where I am today without them, and I am so blessed to have them in my life, and thank you guys. Hopefully you're watching this, but thank you. So that is my story, and here I am living a regular, you know, teenage life. But if you would like more information, go to the links down below, and I'll also do a Q&A, like I said, if you want more information. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, beautifuls.